What up, IDS Mob? It's your boy Harry Wilmington here with the Introvert Dating Success Show. And on today's show, we're going to be answering a question from a 20-year-old guy who has currently been out a few times with a 31-year-old coworker and wants to know if this is something that is worth pursuing. So we're going to get into that real quick, guys. It is now February, the month of love, the month of Valentine's Day, and 2202 weddings happening. And so for those guys that are single out there, I'm going to give you a great deal for this month, which is simply put, if you go to my website, introvertdatingsuccess.com, anytime in the month of February and purchase any one of my programs, eBooks, audiobooks, etc., with that will come a free week of one-on-one email coaching unlimited. So if you want your questions answered by me about your situation, about dating in general, you will have access to me for a full week when you go to the website and order one of my products anytime in the month of February. So go to the website and check that out, okay? So let's go ahead and get to this guy's question, because I really think that this is a problem that a lot of guys have, regardless of if they're dating somebody older than them or younger than them or their same age. These kind of situations will come up where you're dating a woman, you're not sure what she wants, you're not quite sure what you want, and you want to know how to move this thing forward or if you should. So let's get into his question. He says, I work in a bank and we had a new employee join our team in early January. I was instantly interested when I saw her, so I sparked conversation here and there, and she also found some time to speak with me. So I want to say, guys, that's always great, because trying to date a woman at your job can be very tricky, especially if you're trying to go talk to her and you're trying to show her interest, but you don't seem to be getting any of that back. Because if you're not careful, she might consider it harassment. She might feel like she's being bothered, and that could be the end of your job. So you always want to make sure that there's going to be some reciprocity in that area, that the interest seems to be mutual and incoming to you. And that's always a good sign that it's okay to try to proceed with this particular person at your job. Continuing, he says, the second week of the month, we exchanged social media and started chatting outside of work. Another female colleague told me she was 31, they had been talking, but I found myself not caring whatsoever. Great, because it should not matter, regardless, if you guys are both over the age of 18, regardless of what the age dynamic is, you are free to date who you want. So if you're 20 and she's 31, 35, 40, whatever, you guys are both of legal age. If you guys find an attraction towards each other, that's totally fine. Whether that would be a good relationship to get into or whether it would work out based on that extreme age difference is up for debate, but you shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to date this person. Continuing, he says, skip forward to now, and we've been out a couple of dates, and I've slept over at her place. My question to you is this something worth pursuing? Would I just be wasting her time? I am still in university and cannot provide much compared to her with a full career, etc. If she wants kids, I am not ready for that yet. So it is all very complicated. Any sort of advice would be appreciated. So first I want to say this. Kudos to this guy for looking at the long-term game, because he's looking at, as guys, we want to be able to be that provider person, that person that can provide protection and security. And so these are important things to us. And so I know when I was in college, a good portion, I wasn't dating for a lot in part because I was just like, I didn't think girls liked me. But another part of it was like, I thought to myself, in the event that I get into an actual relationship, what am I supposed to do? I can't take care of this person. They can't come live at my place. I can't really protect them. I won't have the kind of job I need yet to be able to support us, let alone support any kind of family. And so as a guy, you're typically going to have those thoughts regardless of who you're dating or when you're dating or at what point in life that you are with your age when you're trying to be with women, okay? So that's always going to be a thought you have. And especially if you're a responsible guy, that is a very admirable thought to have. Now, that said, you got to understand, you're only one half of this equation. There's another person that you're dating, i.e. the woman, that has her own thoughts and feelings and desires about things. And you got to understand with women, a lot of times, who they're deciding to connect with is more based on the emotion of the situation and not so much on these various things that I just mentioned that guys are looking after. So yes, they're looking for security. Yes, they're looking for ideally a guy that has like a steady job and income, but they're also looking for a guy that makes them feel safe and feel like a woman and feel needed and is able to build an emotional connection. And sometimes those things for women will supersede the stuff we're looking for. Like there are plenty of women out there that are with bummy dudes that make them feel really great and they have a long-term relationship. So I say this because I want you as a guy to be able to recognize the responsibility that you need to have in order to make a relationship work, but also understand that there's another person here and she might have different needs that you're thinking that she doesn't have, okay? So all this to say, in this situation, you guys have only been on like a couple of dates. You spent a night over a place like one time and you guys work together, okay? This is not the time to start having these serious conversations, okay? Yes, they are going to be important conversations at some point, but right now, if you guys have only been on one or two dates, she's nowhere near the stage where she's starting to think about, could this be a serious relationship right now? Could it be a serious relationship long-term? Is this the guy that I want to eventually marry? Could I see myself having kids with him? None of these thoughts are in her head yet because it's only been a couple of dates, okay? Now, at the point that a woman is ready to talk about these things, that will signal to you that she's starting to have more serious feelings. And a woman that's starting to have more serious feelings with you cannot help but to bring up these topics of conversation. So what you should be doing is nothing. You should be doing right now with this woman the same thing you've been doing. You show up to work, you banter with her, you talk to her outside of work, and you guys meet up and you hook up. That's all you should be doing. You should be having fun with her, you should be connecting with her, hooking up with her, and repeat. You do not need to add seriousness to it yet because right now this is just a fun time hanging out. This is just you guys getting to know each other. This isn't even like the honeymoon phase. This is like the get to know you phase with some physicality thrown in, and that's all good. And what I don't want you as a guy to do is make the mistake that a lot of guys make, which is, oh my God, we've gone out twice now and I gotta start thinking about the future and the seriousness of this and I gotta bring it up to her. No, you don't. You're, as a guy, are typically going to fall in love and have strong feelings for a woman a lot faster than she is. So you're already ready to bring it up because you've hooked up with her, you've had good sex and you've had a good date and you're like, oh my God, I gotta start thinking about the future. Women on average take 2 to 3 months to solidify their feelings for a guy because they're taking time to fill out the whole scenario and also to enjoy the journey of it. So learn to be on the journey of it and not trying to rush so fast but we gotta figure out where we're gonna get married and how many kids we're gonna have and how I'm gonna take care of them. Like, women are so much better at being able to just ride the wave and have a good time while they're discovering the person, okay? Enjoy the journey of getting to know her. And that can be a very hard thing as a 20-year-old to understand. Because I know, when I was in my 20s, I was rush. I want to know how she feels about me right now. And I want to know, why she isn't talking to me or why she's going out with me and all this other things. Dude, it'll come in time, all right? If you're just be consistent. Consistency is the most important part of attracting a woman, okay? So the more consistent you are in terms of you just keep asking her out, hooking up, seeing her at work, asking her out, hooking up, seeing her at work, make sure it's a little spread out so it doesn't look like you're like spending too much time or you're being too needy. And over time, as that's happening, and not a long time, I'm not talking like it'll take like 5 months. If you're doing just what I just said to do, it'll take like a month or two before she's like, hey, so, we've been getting along great and whatever. And, I'm just trying to wonder like, so what do you see for us or whatever? Like she'll bring that up, okay? Lastly, I want to point out the age difference thing. This guy's 20, she's 31. There can be a stigma about that. But again, you guys are legal adults. As long as you two like what you're doing and you see yourselves as being able to hang out with each other and have a good time, that's all that matters. Could that be a thing that becomes an issue later on? It could be potentially, and she's 31, so she's got 11 years on you. So generationally, there's going to be some references she might make to things that you might not quite get. Or there could be some things that are coming up in your generation that she doesn't quite understand. And those are differences that can be talked about. You guys can share information with each other. Like that situation can work out. The probability is low, but that doesn't mean that it can't. It just means you have to work a little bit harder at it. But again, for where you're at right now in the dating phase with this woman, you don't need to be having those conversations. Like really, really save that until she starts bringing it up, at which point you can start addressing some of these things and don't go in assuming that she's going to feel a certain way about something. Like, for example, this guy said, he said he's not quite ready to have kids and stuff yet. Well, how does he even know that she wants kids? Or how does he not know that she's not willing to wait until he is ready? Now, she's one of those, again, she's 31, so by the time he turns like 25, 26, she'll be 36, 37, and that's when like the probability of a woman getting pregnant starts to lessen a little bit. So that could be a conversation that you have maybe within this first year of dating in terms of what that's going to look like. But again, for right now, don't have that conversation. Let her bring it to you, and I promise you it'll be a more natural thing. She'll feel more comfortable when you have the conversation, and ideally, it'll work out for the good. So hopefully, guy, this helps you out. Now, if you want more of these shows, go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. Also, check out the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts can be found, all right? So if you want to support the show, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/HarryWilmington. You can also leave comments down below the video if you have any questions you want me to answer on one of these shows. You can also write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com if you have a question you want answered on this show as well, okay? And of course, guys, again, for the month of February, any programs you get at my website, you will have free 7-day access to me for any kind of email coaching that you need about your dating style, your lifestyle, your situation, whatever. We'll be able to handle that in some emails free for a week, all right? So be sure to go to the website and check out the various ebooks, audiobooks, and programs that I have there, all designed to help you date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next show. I'm out. Peace.